I can't believe how fast that all went. I wasn't expecting this.
That was fast.
Yeah. This morning, was it this morning? What time was it when that telegram statement happened?
In the UK and Ireland, it was at like 10 to 9 p.m. Let me just double check that for you right now. It's currently 25 past 1 in the morning, so less than 5 hours ago.
It took less than 5 hours from when Joshua Moon announced they moved to Diamond Wall for DDoS protection to getting the CEO of Diamond Wall to drop Kiwi Farms.
Yeah, 2047. So less than 5 hours. And that's with some delay, so it was closer to 4.
Deplatforming speedrun any % world record.
I think at this point, there does need to be a speedrun.com category.
Yeah. Oh, you should go to the site. I need to start collecting these suspended screens.
We can find one. There we go. This page is suspended.
By the way, the CEO, really good guy. I helped him proofread the statement because he's not a native English speaker.
God.
So please don't bully Diamond Wall. It's a smaller company full of good people who listened and they did their due diligence. They weren't like Cloudflare where we had to go for, a week, 2 weeks? And there had to be bomb threats before they did something.
Bomb threats against us, not bomb threats against Cloudflare, to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast.
Oh, jeez.
So this is their statement. Do you want to take the pleasure?
Sure. My name is Hugo Cavallo. I'm the CEO of Diamond Wall. Today I'm bringing an important statement that I never thought I would need to do anytime soon. Before even starting to talk about Kiwi Farms, I think it's important to let people know what a CDN is and does. We are only a proxy that filters website traffic and blocks malicious requests. We do not host any website, and we are not responsible for any website's content, and we cannot control every service's content. Everyone is free to register an account at our website, pay for the product, and start using it. We do not and cannot analyze every single website that starts using our services. Diam Wall is completely new in this market. We opened to the public 1 month ago, and this is not a good way to start for sure, nor is the way that we wanted to start. Diam Wall was formed by a small group of people that worked for many years in this area with private customers, and we created the best anti-DDoS technologies that ever existed. Now that you understand how it works, let's talk about Kiwi Farms.
The owner of Kiwi Farms came in need of DDoS protection, and because their website was offline due to DDoS, by the way, DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service, it's when a large number of computers try to attack one, usually web server, we didn't really know about their website's content. They had a problem, and we had the solution. Soon enough, the reports started to arrive, and we started digging more and more about this website. Soon enough, we find that Kiwi Farms hosts a lot of revolting content.
We do not think it is fair to terminate any service because of public pressure, but in this case, we think there is some foundation behind all of those requests, and we really do not want to have anything to do with it. So after careful consideration, Diam Wall does not feel like Kiwi Farms is a good fit for our company, which means that today we are suspending their service inside Diam Wall's CDN. Please be aware that this will not fix the issue, only delay it. They will find another provider that can protect them and will be online once again. Best regards, Hugo Cavallo, Diam Wall CEO. And yeah, that's true. They'll probably continue finding smaller companies that are willing to take them on, but it's a lot easier to get these companies to drop them, especially when the bigger companies have already dropped them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this, from what I know, from doing some digging today, Diam Wall service is really good, and it's only an open beta. Like it's not even like an established service as yet. So this is a small company that's just getting off the ground, and they reacted really quickly.
What I feel bad about is they had no idea what this website was. Mm-hmm. You know, they're just starting out as a company. They're not really aware of things like Kiwi Farms. And as a result of taking it on, not understanding the risks of this website, they ended up getting bad PR. And it just really sucks because Joshua Moon is the person putting all of these people in these positions. He's not going to tell them what the website's about or what they do.
Yeah, it was always going to be a matter of time, but I don't think anybody expected this. And this has been the trend, that even with Cloudflare, things happen so quickly in the end, but this is ridiculous.
Well, I didn't expect anything today. Yesterday at 9 a.m., Joshua Moon said that he doesn't know when the .net is going to go back up. And then he manages to find Diamond Wall and gets it back up. And then it just goes down again. 4 hours after the announcement.
By the way, if I'm looking at my phone chat, I'm just tracking stuff. Just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, because today was a bit of a down day. Like it was downtime day. Wasn't much going on.
Yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing anything today.
Mm-hmm. You haven't stopped working in far too long, so
yeah,
a down day is good.
Yeah. Oh, Null just won't admit it's a site that hosts rampant hate. So when a business digs into their actual content, he gets the yeet. Oh yeah. Earlier today, Joshua Moon said that the top domain, kiwifarms.top, dropped them, the Chinese domain. It got seized. And I'm pretty sure it was because of one of my friends sending in what I found on the site, which was the Nanjing Massacre celebration thread. Now, if you're unaware of the Nanjing Massacre, terrible, terrible massacre of Chinese citizens by the Japanese, huge mass rape, very fucking awful, terrible stuff. And in China, if you do so much as like pay homage to any of the Japanese soldiers, you can get arrested. Now, if you celebrate the Nanjing Massacre, you're probably going to go to jail for a long time if you're a Chinese citizen. So it stands to reason they weren't going to last very long on the Chinese internet. Yeah, it was the only time showed them some anti-China content. It was really funny how they tried to mask the anti-China content.
Yeah, because they changed the theme of the site to like red and yellow and translated some of the stuff, but that was it.
Yeah.
And then all of the
They did a Xi Jinping appreciation thread.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny.
It is.
I'll give them that. It's pretty funny.
It was funny.
But other than that, it didn't really go terribly well.
Yeah. The only weird thing that I've heard is that Jim Watkins might be buying Kiwi Farms. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about that. I've seen it on Twitter today. It'll be interesting if that were to happen, but yeah, I think we need to wait for other sources on that at this point.
I cannot see why he would want Kiwi Farms or what he would do with it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a poison chalice.
Who's Jim Watkins? He's a QAnon conspiracy theorist and he runs 8chan.
Mm-hmm. So has a bit of a reputation, shall we say. Just a little bit of a reputation.
Just a little tiny
smidgen,
little reputation.
A smidgen of a reputation.
Tiny bit. Okay. I don't even know what else there is to say about the Diamond Wall thing. That was fast. That was faster than any other deplatforming that we've done in relation to Kiwi Farms.
Mm-hmm. And we can't talk about, like, it's particularly impressive. We can't talk about why, but it's particularly impressive that the CEO did that so fast.
Oh yeah, he followed me on Twitter and we were just DMing back and forth about it.
Mm-hmm. But it was very, very impressive that he got it sorted this quickly.
Yeah, I sent him the Kiwi Farms Wikipedia page, the dropkiwifarms.net website, the tweet by the former director of the FBI who said that Kiwi Farms is a terrorist threat. It's pretty hard to go to bat for Kiwi Farms. I think there's a lot of people who really want to go to bat, but it's a poison chalice. You just can't go to bat for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot to take on.
What is the CEO's native language? Portuguese.
Yeah, the company's based in Portugal. The server's based in France, from what I'm aware. Now, European law is a lot better than North American law, especially US law for this. I don't think they would have really kept things up for terribly long anyway. No. Even if it hadn't have been for this.
Like, even if I didn't get involved, it was still going to get dropped. I think it just expedited things.
There were other people trying, as is always the case. Like, there's always people trying to take down every aspect of.
Yeah, it was actually, it was one of my friends who told me to get involved. I wasn't even sure if I was going to, but I'm glad I did. This is a pretty funny outcome. Like, how many service discontinuation screens are there now? Like 3, the Cloudflare one, the DDoS guard one, the Diamond Wall one.
And each one of them has had a statement.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. Because like when Cloudflare have dropped services, for example, under Cesta and Fosta, there weren't statements.
Mm-hmm.
And like this, there weren't statements. So it's particularly notable.
I think it's because Kiwi Farms is particularly unique. Like, they say that they're a free speech site, but they really run up against the limits of free speech. And they act as a host for a group of people who limit other people's free speech through intimidation tactics. Was there a statement for the .top domain seizure? I haven't found one.
No, I haven't found one yet. There may be, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I really doubt there would be one.
Yeah, they just terminated service.
Need you to keep heat on Kiwi farms has been so effective. I mean, I don't want to do this forever, but I don't want them to go back on the ClearNet either.
Mm-hmm.
We really got to just keep monitoring and see where it goes.
And there are teams. There's multiple teams.
Oh yeah, there's so many people involved in this that I'm not even talking to. And I know that regardless of my involvement, they're still going to keep going and keep deplatforming the site. Every time they get deplatformed, it becomes easier to deplatform them again.
Yep. And I'm not sure what brought them to Downwall initially. I assume a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware that like there's longer term plans for the site in terms of the way it operates and trying to decentralize it. But that gets harder and harder the less access to service provision they have.
Yeah.
The more they have to keep jumping and hopping. It's the same with other extremist sites as well. We saw the same through history with 8chan and with the Daily Stormer.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it happens, they bleed user base.
And the one thing is, as far as I know, I'm not a tech person, but I'm pretty sure as long as they don't have effective DDoS, it's going to affect everything else on the host.
Yeah.
And right now they're on Epic.
Mm-hmm.
So if Kiwi Farms continuously gets DDoS, it's going to affect Parler, it's going to affect Gab, it's going to affect 8chan. Wait, no, 8chan got dropped.
Yeah, so there's also another thing. We were talking in some of the groups earlier that we thought that Dimewall had actually dropped Kiwi Farms before they did. Because we just thought, because we started seeing the site really starting to respond extremely sluggish and throw up errors, gateway problem, Nginx errors, and we thought that it had already been dropped. But it turns out that it likely hadn't. Yeah. And even with the protection, it was getting owned. Now, that we can't prove that, but that seems to be the timeline. So there isn't probably much hope for keeping it on the ClearNet without DDoS protection. Because again, this site has a lot of enemies. And unlike the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign, there are a lot of other people who hate the site who have taken to more like nefarious means as well.
Oh, yeah.
And have for many years.
I mean, like, that's the thing with Kiwi Farms. There are a lot of people who were targeted by Kiwi Farms who were absolutely innocent. They didn't do anything. They don't have a shady past, nothing like that. But on the flip side, there are absolutely very shady people who got targeted by Kiwi Farms. And the moment that they saw there was a vulnerability, they decided to strike back. I'm not in contact with any of them. I don't really know them. But I've heard a lot of weird people who have been targeted by this site.
Yeah. There's all sorts.
Yeah.
All sorts. Surf Raid?
Yeah, Surfs. Hey, Lance.
Hello. Welcome to Northern Ireland.
But yeah, I really think that we should all be nice to Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just started his business. Like, it's been 2 weeks since open beta. And already he gets into this big PR thing because of Kiwi Farms. So even if you never use a service, you should give them a Twitter follow, because that was really cool of him. I've never had a CEO reach out to me. It's like, hey, talk to me in DMs. We'll figure this out. And then we go 4 hours and boom, Kiwi Farms gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's pretty busy at the moment as well. So for things we can't talk about. So it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Very pog.
Yeah, I think I was more freaked out this time just because they were back on the .net domain.
Yeah, so actually something on that is the Kiwi Farms folks had been talking about holding off on bringing back the .net because they wanted to lay low for a while. And I think that was yesterday, maybe the day before, but I think that was yesterday. And then they came back today. But as a result of coming back today, they've lost a service provider.
Yeah.
So not a bad result.
Yeah, what was the tactical... Like, why would they do that? I still don't understand. Was it desperation? Was it impulse?
Well, actually, there's a lot of different groups have been tracking user activity, posting frequency, etc. And on the other domain names, of course, they're much less well known. They don't have search engine optimization. And you sort of need to be in the know to find it, unless you have direct links, etc. So understandably, activity was way down, especially when they were restricted to the darknet. There were a lot of threads that have been and were today actually very fast on the .net that were really slow. And because the site was so unstable, there did seem to be a lot of discontent around the performance of the site. So getting back onto not just the ClearNet, but .net is their obvious goal. Like, that's what they're known as. They're known as kiwifarms.net. So they're always going to try to get back on that. So it shouldn't be a big surprise. It was always going to happen, but it was just a surprise after yesterday and them saying, yeah, we're going to lay low for a bit.
Keffals, Chelsea mentioned me? Where? What? I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, I was coming to a natural close, don't you worry.
I was like trying to figure out what that meant. What?